The oboist's A faded and the hall hushed. I was halfway to my seat when the MC read the title I had coined at 3 a.m. Except it wasn't under my name. The first 3 notes landed, and the auditorium applauded a theft in C minor. The program said New Voices, Faculty Selections, but the headline soloist was the Conservatory's golden boy, a 20-year-old from Brno, with sponsor shoes and a bow that cost more than my rent. I had been invited as one of 5 community partners, the kind phrase institutions use when the tuition is 0 and the hours are not. In row G, seat 19, I tried to swallow around a mouth that had turned papery. When the violas entered on the offbeat, my hands knew exactly where the 4th horn would fluff, because I wrote the slur that made it inevitable. He must have felt me stand. The mentor. He sat across the aisle, 2 rows ahead, hair smoothed into a public posture. In the dim, he turned his head just an inch, a cat hearing the door. Later, I would remember that tiny pivot more than the applause. The thief of the story is not a cartoon villain. He is what arts institutions breed on purpose. Brilliant enough to disarm you, kind enough to make you thank him for the bruise, fluent in the polite grammar of theft. When I met him, he was the new head of composition and contemporary practice at the Prague National Conservatory of Music, Dr. Otto Bergmann, German mother, Austrian father, a degree from the Hochschule in Berlin, and a CV with commissions that were both real and aspirational. He'd moved to Prague the summer I arrived from Vermont, and he shook hands like he wanted the friendship to be mutual. I landed in Prague in late August 2023 with 2 suitcases, a second-hand Yamaha keyboard, and the email subject every visa holder dreads. Welcome, please see attachment. The attachment was a PDF from the immigration department listing 8 items: passport copy, proof of accommodation, health insurance, bank statement with a minimum balance of CZK 91,110, about 4,000 talents, criminal record extract, 2 passport photos, proof of acceptance, and a structured creative plan. The plan was the only thing I didn't resent. I wrote it like a prayer. 6 months to compose a string orchestra work, integrating field recordings from tram routes 2 and 22, animating urban tempo into notated polyrhythm. The conservatory called it the Prague Urban Fellowship and paid me 18,000 CZK a month, about 780, for community engagement and workshop leadership, which meant I taught free Saturday classes in harmony to teenagers who played Chopin with a ferocity people reserve for telling the truth. My rent on a 4th-floor one-room at Opatovica 14 was 15,500 CZK. I did math in my head a lot that autumn, then stopped because it felt like rehearsing defeat. He came to my first workshop on 7th of September, sat in the back, asked a question about metric modulations that felt more like an invitation to be seen than an exam. Later, he complimented the score paper I used. Hand-ruled, I respect the archaic, he said, smiling, then put both hands in his pockets, as if containing the next compliment for later. He told me he liked my tram idea, that the city needed artists who listened beneath the pictures. He offered to meet weekly for informal mentorship, and my ribcage opened the way it does when luck and a door align. Full story in the channel below.